evening, everyone. Saturday night, 10 p.m. It's the APAT show. Leigh, German Online Championship, right? The finito of 2 days of poker. A little bit quieter tonight. Not a bad thing in my books, I have to say.
No, absolutely not sure. We're not sure why, but with the crazy numbers we had last night, and there was another update rolled out by GG today, and some things have changed again in the lobby. And I logged on earlier on and was like, where is everybody then? Because based on what the numbers we had 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night, they weren't that far off the Friday night bounty numbers. We know Friday night. We know the bounty brings a few more in, but we're looking a little bit quiet. What of course that does mean is I can see those players that are left in is plenty of names that we recognise. So we're going to have a couple of cracking final tables to follow for, which might only be the next hour. Maybe hour and a half. I mean, sometimes these things can go on longer than you think. But let me give you an update on where we're at, what's going on. So the No Limit Hold'em started at 7:30 tonight. 65 runners in that. We're down to 10. The bubble has just burst because we're only paying the top 10 tonight. That is where we're at. So there's just shy of $1,500 in the prize pool. So that is all up for grabs, of course, plus the APAT gold, silver, and bronze medals. $350 up top. Minimum cash now, they've locked up $40. But there are lots and lots of names, Des, that you will recognise in this list. Chip leader at the moment is one Dingle Bell, which is Natalie Bromley. Currently sat with double the stack of the next best placed person, which is Bet Game, who is Chris Dobson. You may remember Chris from previous live APATs. So he's still there. Adam Zlowski is still in this final 10. Oh boy is in this final 10. Now, oh boy is the captain of our week 1 poker squads winning team. He admitted today that when he said it was 0 last week for him, and we all went, oh, so he didn't even play.
It was just zero touchdowns, Leigh. Yeah. Zero touchdowns.
No. Charlie played every single event last week, didn't score a single point for his team, yet the other three in the team, Sean, Yanni, and Tony
carried
Roth,
him over the line.
Did the business for him. But Chaz is still going strong in this, say down to 10. Also, one Rhubarb 10, which is Andrew Jones, as we all know, he's there. And 10th at the moment, 10th of the 10 remaining is one Guy Powers for the win. And of course, we all know who that is. I will be jogging your memory, but Rob Swindells is in that top 10, and Rob's already had some good success with our online championships this autumn. So we're now playing. We just finished playing hand for hand for the money bubble, so that's burst. And we're now playing hand for hand, I think, for the final table. So
happy days, Leigh.
Then we will, we'll already be on the final table, which is great. The PLO is down to 13, 45 runners in that tonight. I mean, this is just this was the night to clearly play if you want to try and pick up an APAT medal, because something is obviously gone on in the background here as to when these tournaments have been in. Something's happened clearly, because 45 runners in a PLO on a Saturday night championship event is unheard of. So, but it is what it is, and it's going to pay the top 8. We're down to 12 of that at the moment. One Rhubarb 10, Andrew Jones, just mentioned him. Still
seen all over the place.
Well, he is chip leader in the PLO. Lockbox 621 is also in there, which is chill made of the Jason flavour. So he's still going there. Odin 1, which is Ed Bird. Now, Ed has already picked up a medal just 2 weeks ago, so he's having some further success. No Cash 40, which is Dave Garden. He's still in there as well. Yeah, and I'm just thinking, Andrew Jones has just had his aces cracked by Rob Swindells. So Rob's got a full double up, and Andrew is going to be all in. Let me jump to the other table so you can see this. He's all in on the right hand side of his screen. Looks like both Rob and Adam. Are they going to check this down? No, Adam's going to fire a bet on this 3-Jack ace with ace king, so it's totally understandable. Spades though for Andrew, he has spades to get him out of this on the river. It's looking red to me. That's not going to help him. So Andrew is going to miss out on the final table, but he does pick up $40 for a 10th place finish. And the tables will vanish very quickly, Des, whilst we set up for this final table. So bear with me a second, and I will I will get the final table
Fantastic.
loaded up. And
Well, while you're loading, Lee, let me talk you through the chat box. Lot of you guys out there with us on a Saturday night. Steve Tomo is watching. Ali Mooney is watching. Joe Chilmate is watching. The Oracle, Simon Lawler, is watching. Richard Baker says, evening, chaps. Evening to you, Rich. Adam Small has joined us. Simon says, evening. Evening, Simon. Asa says, evening all. Evening to you, Asa. Mr. Wigglesworth is out there, Lee. He is watching in. Damien is out there. Good evening, guys. 13th in the No Limit Hold'em. Bit of a sad face there. Didn't work out for Damien. Simon says, is it usual to not run satellites on day of main event? Well, as Leah said, Simon, lots of stuff happening today on GG, so we might have got caught up a little bit in all of that. Natalie is out there. Dingle Bell doing well. Gee, I made a little poem there, Leah. I didn't even realise that.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Yeah.
Asa responds to Damien's 13th sad story with 12th. beat you by one. Simon says, good luck, Natalie. Mr. 40 has joined us. Hi all. Hi to you, Steve. Simon says, I thought he was a non-playing captain, more of a non-scoring. Of course, he's referring to Charlie Kearns there. Simon also says, anyone in the points yesterday in tonight's events. So, okay, that's a good point. We'll come back to that, Lee, right? Once I just finish this little section. Jason Chilmade. Of the Daddy Chillmaids says, good evening to you, Jace. Damien says, next time, 13th, 12th, I guess, perhaps an 11th or a 10th for the two of them next time. Mr. 40 says, any chance you can explain DTD final table game, please? Perhaps we'll come back to that. And I'm just going to finish by saying Charlie Kearns of the non-scoring variety Kearns is watching. He'll be a little sore at the moment because Scotland, of course, just exited the Rugby World Cup. I'm sure we'll talk a little more about that. Scott Wayne is there as well. Kev O'Hanlon, who is on the Irish side of that fixture, is there. He'll be a little happier. And Charlie finishes off by saying 1 of 11. So presumably he's cashed something, Lee. Something has gone right for Charlie today. He must be in there somewhere. Tris is watching us also. Mark Lastman is there. Evening to you, Mark. And Durson is also watching. So lots of you watching. If you want to talk to us, guys, you want to talk about anything in particular, just pop it in the chat box. And we're going to be looking for stuff to discuss over the next hour or so, Lee. Are we not?
We are. Well, I should say that Mark is still in the PLO, so there's 11 left in the PLO. Mark is still in that. Don Logan is also still in that PLO as well. Didn't give him a shout out earlier on. And Flash Your Tilts is still in the PLO, which is, I think that's Alan, isn't it? Let me just double check. I'm giving the right. Yes, it is Alan Ellis. So Alan Ellis still in that as well. Is there anybody I've missed? That's still in the
Charlie's on the final of the Hold'em. I'm boy. Yeah. I think you mentioned him earlier on.
Oh, and Shug is also in the PLO as well. So Shug is still going in the PLO as well. So say bunch of APAT still going in the PLO. We'll do that. Yeah. Now as far as as far as where we go with the leaderboard this weekend, because of the numbers from last night, it's going to be so ridiculously weighted to last night's.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So I think what I am going to do is I'm just going to hold fire until I've had a conversation with GG to find out whether something is impacted on what's happened tonight, because I just can't believe that the numbers are where they are tonight, and we'll make a decision on what to do. Obviously we'll run the numbers and see what it is anyway, but at the moment I think probably the guy that won the bigger event yesterday isn't even an APAT member, so basically wouldn't wouldn't win the added value anyway, as they're not registered up as on apat.com for any added value. So I think I'll hold fire and have a conversation with GG, and then I'll update you guys during the week when I find out what's gone on, particularly for tonight. So don't want to put any dampener on those that are still playing tonight, because there's a title and medals to be up for grabs here, plus a whole chunk of cash. But I'll have a look at the added value and do, as you know we always do, I will do the right thing. So
Lee, after you've gone through that very detailed process of speaking to GG and the Pope and everyone else, then you and I, we're gonna flick a coin for it, right? We're gonna flip a coin. I'm taking heads.
We'll do a replay, is what we'll do. We'll do a replay with
Oh.
we'll do a replay with 9
Lee.
minutes of added on time. Yeah,
Lee, look,
9
it's
minutes. Here we go.
It's the swizzle
disco
process.
time,
I love this.
It's disco time. Here we go. And of course, loads of people that we know in this. And of course, who gets to pick last here? One Natalie Bromley. What is she going to do?
Let's get her live. Let's get her live on the show.
What is she going to do in this
dear.
situation? Yeah. So for anyone that's not seen these before, final table, GG, they give all the players an opportunity to choose where they want to sit from the lowest stack up to the biggest stack. It's still the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed at a poker table. It's just plain weird. But we're slowly trying to build a strategy with all this, Des, aren't we?
We've got it figured.
Yeah, we understand what you would do now. Of course, so Natalie here has got pretty much double the stack of the next best player, which is Chris Dobson, who's bet game. So once they've all finished deciding where they're going to move, Natalie's got a decision of where does she want to position herself to start this final table. Now, there's no point in making a decision until you've seen what everybody else has decided. But you kind of have to have in your head roughly.
You don't get long to do it.
You know, what's going on. Yeah, you don't get very long. So you need to have a plan about what you want to do. As it's heading around. Currently, she's got the second and third stacks to her right. And then she's got the fourth and fifth size stack immediately to her left. So she's actually sat right bang in the middle of all the other chips. And she's on the button. And she's on the button. Is that
that's the nut position? Is it not?
So Chris Dobson has moved himself to the small blind. So let's see what Natalie's going to do. She's got 10 seconds to make a decision.
She's got to move herself to Chester's seat or to Bloza, I would say. Oh, hello.
And she's moved herself to Chester's seat. She's moved herself into the big blind.
She knows what she's doing. Not surprised.
She's now got all four stacks. So second to fifth are now all to her right.
She's got position.
Nicely played.
So she's given up a button. Played. She's taken a big blind to do that. That's the cost of business. But it's great, right?
She knows where she is. She's sat on 110 big blinds. They roll back the clock for a final table. So these guys have got 45 big blind average stack to play here. So there's going to be a good little bit of play. We'll still be on an earlier finish than normal, I think, Des. But we've got a good little bit of play here to witness. So we'll see how it all works out.
I think, Lee, if you think about it, there's no reason why we shouldn't do this at an APAT main event live. We could have APAT's own Tom Brady moving the chairs. Can you imagine the furore if we said at the start of a final table, right, lads, off we go. Reverse order of chips. Move now. It'd be great. Yeah. We'd have a little jingle, right? When the jingle stops.
All in the call, very first hand.
Blimey.
25's got King Jack up against Bet Games. Chris Dobson's Ace King. Jack on the flop. Going to be no real help there for Chris, and it's going to be a full double up for Blozza 25 through Chris Dobson. Just looking to see whether I know. I don't know who Blozza 25 is. There's a few on here that I don't know. Blozza 25, I don't know. Zambodi 500, I don't know, and Chester is the other one from the UK. I don't know. Obviously, Robert KQ is from Hong Kong, so I definitely don't know Robert KQ. But but if you know Chester or Zambodi 500 or Blozza 25, let us know in the chat if you know who they are. Unless you're Carl Pilgrim, in which case we don't want to know. Yeah. We don't want to know what inside information you think you might have and everything else. Not interested. Did you see? I did tag you in the comment from Chris Fullis earlier on today.
I saw it, Lee. Yeah. So he was quite happy to be named and shamed. No shame in finishing first.
Absolutely.
We said.
But he said there was a serious chunk of the time last night where he was being called Linda, I think, at one point.
Linda or Claire or something. Yeah, he was. He was that as well.
Point. Yeah. Because apparently there's a Julie who's a dog walker, so they all assumed that was who it was. Yeah,
dog walker, so, right.
Yeah, but definitely not. But Chris hasn't got now. Apparently, he put his name up and offered up for squads. So he did so. So Adam's in the chat saying so. Blozza 25 is his mate Rob Blow. Excellent. Well, good luck to you, Rob. There we go. So Adam and Rob both made this final table. So well done. And I say, I did have him on my list, just didn't have a name against him, but we will now do the necessary. So we've got that for future reference. So good luck to you, Rob.
Apparently, Chris is gender fluid. He's gender fluid. Well, we're very supportive of that. Of course we are.
Is that just on a Saturday night, or
he's gender fluid? Well, for the rest of the week, Leigh, he prefers consume fluid.
Yeah, but he's all good with
gender
all
fluid
good
on
with
a Saturday night.
Yeah, we're down to 11 in the PLO, so as I say, it's 8 for the money, and I think it'd probably be 8 for a final table actually as well. So let me just see if I can double check that. I think it's 7 for a final table. Sorry, so 8 in the money, 7 for a final table. So
it said it there a minute ago. Chester apparently is reconnecting. Does that help?
Okay, yeah. So are we calling him Mr. Connecting? First name Ree. Yeah.
We're a friendly bunch around here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Zambody 500 I should know because I think they've played before, but they're not even on my list. So yeah, genuinely do not know that one. Chester has definitely played with us before, so definitely got them on the list. Just not got a name against them. So let me just run through the cashes now because we are down to the final 9. So minimum cash now is $50, which means they're double their money wherever they finish now. Top places though, third place is $217, then it's $275 for second and $350 for first, and of course APAT medals for the top 3.
Tom Thorpe. Leigh, it's Chester.
Oh, there we go.
Tom Thorpe. Hey, Tom, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Yes, we'll definitely know the name now. Good luck to you, Tom. So on we go then. Say focusing in on the very much on the poker. Last night was a good buzz. So much going on though. We had the final 2 Poker Squads games, and that all come into a conclusion, and the 2 bounty games with some crazy numbers in there last night. So there was a hell of a lot of poker going on, and of course that Poker Squads went right down to the wire. We seem to, however we get kind of have to rejig the scoring or rejig the format. We always seem to have a situation where when we're doing streams of the final day of these leaderboards, Des, they are
to the end, Leigh.
Super exciting with something to play for. Yeah,
I thought my favorite piece of the whole stream was when we were pretty much done and we'd confirmed the results to everybody, and you went, hold on, I just found somebody. There's somebody here, and it changed a few things, but that's we don't finally confirm things until we check things, and the result was good. Pretty much good, right on the whistle of the final table. Now, we have been joined, Leigh, in the chat box. No chat yet. They've both been a bit silent. Jamie Witter and one Chris Dobson, right, who we've mentioned a couple of times already. He's out there, Leigh. Chris Dobson.
Yeah, he'll just be going about his business. Obviously already doubled up Rob there early on. So did come into this final table as second in chips, but still sitting quite happily on 30, just over 30 bigs at the moment. So not in any major rush to do too much. We'll just see that place. Obviously, slight change when you hit the final table. The guys have obviously been playing on an 8-minute clock so far since they started at 7:30. They now play the levels go up every 12 hands, so slightly different now. So they all get a set huge time bank to use for their decision making, but really there's no kind of real logical sense to be time banking or slowing down at the moment because it's now done by the number of hands before the levels go up. So pretty much it's just when you need to make a decision, but trying to slow the game down is not going to achieve anything anymore. It's something I really, really do like, actually, and maybe that is something we should consider bringing into our final tables of live events moving forward. That once we hit a final table, it's done by the number of the number of hands rather than
absolutely. Chris has heard us, Leigh. He says, hi all. Hi to you, Chris. Asa has just added a nice reward for Ireland winning the group, just New Zealand. Well, yeah, but we'd known that a while ago, right? We'd known a long time ago that it was going to be France and New Zealand if you were lucky enough to finish in the top 2 of Group B. And, New Zealand...
I think to be honest with that, at the moment, I'm not sure which, which one would you rather not get?
Exactly.
You're going to get one of them. I think the sad thing about today, I mean, Scotland got absolutely blown away this evening, no denying it. But I think Scotland have done enough in this tournament to say that possibly, they probably possibly deserve to be in the knockouts ahead of.
Oh, they're better than Argentina or Japan no question.
Chaz has run his queens into the kings of Natalie here. Needs to avoid a queen for Natalie, and we're gonna see, and it's gonna be it's a green card, so it's not going to be any good for Chaz. And our chip leader is going to add to her stack significantly, and we're going to unfortunately lose Charlie Kearns in 9th place, picking up $51.61, and Natalie is now sitting on 136 bigs. The second place chip stack at the moment now is Robert KQ, who's got 55. So she's got over double the stack of the second place player at the moment, in a really, really good spot here.
She'll have been having a strange sort of day, Leigh. I know she was at the game earlier on where Burnley took the lead against Chelsea, right? And then went on to lose quite heavily. Obviously, haven't seen the game, don't know how it played out. Strange season for Chelsea. I mean,
I believe her poker tonight is fueled by gin.
Gin and rage, I would have thought, Leah, probably quite a potent double there, I would have thought.
From a tweet I saw earlier on from her, then I believe it's very much gin fueled tonight to get over it. So
it's not hurting her poker, I have to say. Leigh, Steve Pugh has joined us and is also watching. Good evening to you. Dennis Hammond is watching as well. So good evening, guys. Do say hello and let us know, anybody. Anything you want to talk about?
So back on the rugby. I do feel for Scotland because it's been my pet hate for a long time that these group draws are seeded way too soon. Too far in advance. Where Scotland have come from in the last 2 or 3, 2.5 years. From where they were when the seeds were done, and they for some reason they just draw these groups stupidly early, and it's not a true reflection of where the teams are when they're coming into the World Cup. They could be done 6 months before the tournament. They don't need to be left this late, and you probably wouldn't have had that situation there where Scotland were in just a real sucky group. To be honest, they deserved a better draw for this World Cup and to at least get into the knockout stages. I feel. From where they are as a team, but not to be for them. They couldn't really do much more than that. They put a good second half performance on. Would have been an interesting one because, of course, Ireland only needed a bonus point to top the group for definite, didn't they? I think, which means if Scotland had won and they both got a bonus point, South Africa would be out now.
Yeah.
And you know what you were talking about last night about
Germany and Austria.
The 0-0 pass it around. Well, that was a perfect.
Yeah, it's never going to happen though. Yeah. Did you see what happened when one of the lads tried to trip up Johnny Sexton? I mean, the whole thing nearly kicked off. That was never going to happen.
But what you've got to love with rugby with that whole situation was honest. So all of that kicked off, and I loved it where the TMO went back to the ref. He said, "Right, so whatever number blue has tripped green." He's had a little bit of a go back, and then blue number 3 was first one in. I've had a look at everything else.
Everything else is fine. Yeah. Forget the near murder attempt on the touchline over the hoardings. Forget that, right? The Jason Bourne stuff. That was all right.
I've looked at everything else with 30 grown men rucking in the middle of a pit. That's all okay.
That's right.
And he goes back back to the trip and goes, right, you started this.
Yeah, so that's right. And the beautiful thing was, you don't trip anyone in rugby. You can't trip. We don't do that. Johnny says you don't fucking trip me.
You can drag somebody over an advertising hoarding, but you're not doing. So anyway. So Rob has gone all in from the small blind here. So it was a raise by Natalie that was called by Rob Blow, Blozza 25. It's been a beautiful squeeze spot, I suppose, for Rob in the small blind. Guy Powers for the win. 15 bigs is the shove. Natalie's made the call. So decision on Rob Blow, who's decided to make the call here. with the chip leader in the pot, are they going to check this all the way down now? No, Natalie's firing out a bet, putting the pressure on Rob Lowe, who's going to call. He's only got 8 bigs behind, so he feels completely committed to this now. But they have checked it down.
Well, Ace Queen.
That was the right call. Ace Queen was a good decision to make. Yeah, I mean, once the ace comes on the flop, he's not getting away from that hand. And I still like the way Natalie tried to, with the sixes, add a go, but decided when the call was made, okay, I'm not going to commit anything. I suppose, could Rob have just shoved the last 8? I suppose he's only getting called by a better hand. So, you just check that.
He also wouldn't, wouldn't have been surely, presumably.
No, exactly. Yeah. And of course, that puts him now chip leader. So that pot there, we unfortunately lose Rob Swindell's in 8th place, picking up $65, and Blozza 25. Rob Blow now becomes our chip leader.
Mark says Scotland had to win by 21 points to get through, Leigh. So obviously, as I understand it, at the start of play, had Ireland not got a bonus point, I think Scotland could have won by like 8 points, right? And I think they would have knocked Ireland out. That's my understanding of it. But of course, that changed. The minute Ireland scored their 4th try and secured that bonus point, Ireland were through. And it was pretty much done then, because Scotland would have had to score a lot of points. It was never going to happen. Never going to happen. But you're right. They were a very decent team. Very unlucky to have ended up in that group. To be honest, Ireland were probably pretty unlucky to have ended up in that group as well. But you're still playing this down, and I said this to you before the tournament started. You're the number 1 team in the world. Nothing to lose by playing it down. And to be honest, you've shown that so far in these group stages. I think you've only been outscored points wise by is it only one team's outscored you on points in the group stages? Is that right? Can't remember.
Yeah, I think there's only one team that I can think of that might have outscored you on points in the group stages.
I think you and I had a quick chat at about partway through the first half of that game, or maybe just before half time, and we're sort of saying that Ireland are efficient. They're very strong in defence and they convert well. So you can look at a game at any given point and you can say, well, this is very close. It's like the other team has a lot of possession. The other team are getting a lot of reach into Ireland's half. But actually, it's bloody hard to break Ireland down. I mean, that's pretty evident from all of the games.
The stats around Ireland's tackling. Scotland made so many meters.
Yeah, they did a ton of possession, but they couldn't convert.
Yeah, but for nothing. Yeah, absolutely got nothing for it. It's whereas Ireland super clinical when they did cut through and got there. I mean, England made hard work of things earlier on in the day as well. I mean, that was a tough one as well. They just got, obviously they were already qualified anyway, but still they made hard work of that. And I mean, if it ends up being, I mean, England are now really quite short odds on making the semi-finals. But to be honest,
who are they playing in the quarters, Leigh?
Well, it's going to be the winner of. It's likely to be Fiji, isn't it? So, or not likely to be. I think it will be.
To be honest, Fiji not a bad team.
I mean, actually, well, it would require Portugal to beat Fiji, and then it would be Australia.
Yeah, weirdly. It will be Fiji. It will be Fiji.
Yeah, so it's going to be Fiji. So I mean, to be honest, we were lucky against Fiji. The Welsh in our first game we were lucky. That game could have gone either way, and where we're now sitting in a World Cup where we've played 4-1-4 and we've scored 19 out of 20 points as group winners. That could easily have been something completely different after the first game against Fiji. We were fortunate to be the right side of that.
That went late, right? Yeah. That went very, very late. Mark says, terrible draw in the rugby. What World Cup in any other sport, where would you get the top 4 teams in the world playing each other in the quarters? Which is a fair call.
Absolutely.
It's a fair call.
Oh, King on the river there means it's a chop pot. So Adam gets away with one there against Natalie. And the King plays as the on the river, and Chris Dobson is all in under the gun here for about 20 bigs. I mean, it's a fairly big shove, and it gets folds all the way round. No one's fancying putting that in. I mean, for a couple of them, it is pretty much their tournament life. For 2 of the others, it's half their stack. It's only the 2 chip leaders to his left that I guess could look about calling off 25% of their stack potentially with a shove like that. But Chris gets that one through. No, Mark is absolutely spot on. It's not the first time this has happened. When Wales were, I think we were like in the top two in the world for a period of time, only not a huge group, so maybe 2 World Cups back, something like that. The draw had been done 3 years prior, and we had a just ridiculous draw in the World Cup. It was just insane. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. That's how they do it, but that is how they do it. So you just have to kind of put up for it. But what we are certainly going to get is after this weekend, we're going to start getting some, proper knockout rugby. It's just going to be big game after big game for the next 3 weeks. And I think, any combination of the big teams that makes the final are all looking pretty good. And it's going to be, it is going to be a pretty good say.
Yeah.
I certainly think so. The semi-finals and the final, those last 3 games, I think are going to be just an excellent level of rugby. So Mark, Chester, Tom is all in, and it's been called by Natalie in the small blind. So it's King Queen for Tom. It's pocket kings for Natalie.
Tom's in trouble.
Hello. Jack gets him out of this though. Jack gets him out of this. He's got 4 of them to hit on the river. Doesn't matter the colour. 6 is not going to be it though, and we're going to lose
Tom.
Yeah, we're going to lose Tom Thorpe in 7th place. Very well played to you, Tom. He picks up $83, and we're down to 6. And Natalie's got the chip lead back again now. 80 big binds. Average stack is just 43, so she's got twice the average stack at the moment. Short stack is Chris Dobson with 18 bigs, but all to play for. We're down to 7 in the PLO, Des. So we've hit the money and the final table in that. I will load that up as well. I think they may have already done their maneuverings.
Oh, we missed the musical chairs. Oh.
Yeah, they've already done the manoeuvring. So what I'll do is let me just because Chris is all in here, so let me let this hand play out, and I'll quickly jump across and show you what we've got going on in the PLO. Yeah, that one's done. So let me go over. So PLO then. So we've got Dave Garden is our chip leader on this. Andrew Jones is there as well. Ed Bird is in there. Don Roberts is there, and Shug is on that final table. So good luck to all of you guys. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. But our main focus is going to be on this No Limit Hold'em.
See, Ed Bird, who you mentioned, who took a medal recently, Lee, still in that game as well.
Yeah.
Hold'em 1.
Yeah, and he's been playing in poker squads as well. So
good. There he is. Look at that, Lee. You mentioned a name, and up he pops.
There you go. The Big Lebowski
Evening, Ed. I remember the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. So
you questioned his Gansey when we had him on last time. You said that's an incredible jumper that Ed is wearing there. It wasn't Ed. It
wasn't his own knitwear. Very disappointed. But.
Don says, good luck, or Simon says, rather, good luck, Don Roberts and Shug.
Well, Don has just had a massive double up through Andrew Jones there, and as you can see, Don Roberts is our new chip leader now on that final table. So,
can you believe, we've got to discuss this, Lee, West Ham, the longest undefeated run of all English clubs in European competition.
Ever.
What?
Ever.
17 games unbeaten in Europe. That stretches all the way back to 1942, apparently.
And can still add to that, and are likely to still add to that.
Do you know, there's a good chance that Don Roberts has been to the majority of those games. You do realise that, don't you? It's incredible.
Yeah, it is super, super impressive. Yeah, it's as I say, and I don't think it matters what competition it's in or what you want to. I don't think that really matters, because you can slip up, all over the place, and of course you can win a European competition these days without winning every game. That's a comfortable thing. Adam is all in here, and it's Robert King, KQ. with a decision to make. He'd already bet sort of nearly 6 bigs. Adam shoved for 30. And decides to make the call in the end. Good call. Jack's against 9s. Jack on the flop as well. And he's going to be a runner from Adam. It's not going to be there. And Adam's Lofty is going to depart in 6th place. And Robert KQ.
Good game, Adam. Another final table for the youngster. He's not that young now, though, Lee, right?
No,
he's grown up. He's grown up since we first saw Adam at APAT.
When he started playing APAT, he can't be far off drawing his pension now. Surely.
He's got a cane now. Got a cane. I still can't pronounce his surname though, Lee. Slurski. It's not bad. That's probably not bad.
Zalowski. I don't know.
It's not Slov. There's no Slav in there. It's Slurski.
I don't know why you struggle with it. I really don't. I really don't understand why you struggle with it.
If it was Murphy, not a problem, right? Murphy.
Yeah.
Surlowski. It's Surlowski. Surlovsky. Yeah, well, that's how I pronounce it. No, there was more of a love in yours.
No,
it was a poor attempt. Yours was a poor attempt.
I'm Solovsky.
There you go. I think we've helped each other to reach the actual answer.
No, I don't think I've needed your help in the slightest. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've completely car crashed many a pronunciation on this show over the years.
But you're comfortable with Adam and Ian. You've nailed Solovsky.
With Ian and Adam, I'm quite comfortable with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I'm not sure. All I know is that you're closer than I am. That I'm giving you. I'm definitely giving you that.
So Natalie just shipped a few chips to Robert King Queen there with 2 pair for Natalie, and Robert had hit the Broadway. So
he's just a babe, Lee.
Robert takes over a chip leader. Yeah,
it's just a
there
babe.
He goes,
Mr. Ski.
30, that's
30. Do you remember 30, Lee? Do you remember 30?
Vaguely, yeah.
Do you remember thinking, "Oh, it's a disaster. I've just hit 30. It's all over. It's over."
Age is not something that's ever really bothered me very much, to be honest. I've never really given it a huge amount of thought.
Good man.
I don't know why. I think it may be because I still feel like I live my life like I'm in my 20s or 30s. I know I don't look like that or necessarily act like it all the time, but I think because Jen and I have never had kids, and so your life is slightly different. I think if you don't have kids, and therefore you do kind of feel like you've never really grown. You've never had to do that necessarily
crazy grown up thing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so you've never really needed to worry about that. So it's quite scary that I'm only a few years off 50, and I don't. That feels quite
once you hit
bizarre,
50,
but,
once you hit 50, it is truly downhill from there. I can confirm that.
So, you just time goes by, and we'll still carry on, but we'll be doing APAT until we're. I don't know. How old can we get away with still doing APAT for? Forever.
I'm not sure we can do it for too much longer, Lee. We need it. We need a new thing, Lee. We need a new thing. That's what we need. A new thing.
We'll find. What we're going to do musical chairs on our final tables live in events next year.
That could end APAT very quickly. I think we should go into heavy wool jumper production with Ed Bird, Lee. I think there's money to be made in that. We could move to somewhere like Jersey and go direct from there. What do you think? We'd sell to the Chinese and just make a lot of money.
We'll call it APAT.
How many
dudes.
sheep?
We'll call it APAT dudes, yeah.
How many sheep do they have in Jersey, Lee? Because I'm not sure about importing sheep into Jersey. That sounds complicated.
We don't want to mess with that.
No.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't think we've got any. Are we allowed to export anything anywhere anymore? I don't think we are we? I don't think it's. I don't think that's part of the.
Apparently, you're the Peter Pan of poker, Lee. And in a rather leading question, Ace asks, "Who's Tinkerbell?"
Well, I was just thinking, does that make Tom Tinkerbell? Is that how that works?
Tom can be Tinkerbell. I'm very happy with that. I can be the agent.
Yeah, that works quite well. Yeah, goodness me.
It is TB, Lee. It is TB.
And I'll be perfectly honest. We're all available for pantomime this year. not a problem at all. Yeah, we seriously.
Oh no, we're not.
Yeah, we genuinely might be available for pantomime. Actually, it's There was a good. You don't watch Only Connect, do you? You're not an Only Connect fan with Victoria Coren Mitchell. So they always each of the contestants has a strange fact that she reads out about them all bit at the start of the show when she's introducing them. And one of the ones this week was her name was whatever, and she's taken part in a quantum science pantomime or something like that. And then the discussion gets taken place. Well, exactly what is that? It's just where they're behind you and they're in front of you all at the same time.
Oh, Leigh, it's behind you. Your poker career.
There you go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, all good. All good.
There's nobody quite like the APAT community to put you in your place, Leigh. They won't like it. You can't get away with too much there, I have to say. Quite right too.
My poker career is very much behind me because I don't play. I can't. I'm really struggling to get much enthusiasm to play.
Don't say that, Leigh. Don't say that on the stream. No.
It's the good stuff to play we're covering. So the stuff that you'd want to play. Yeah, we're obviously covering, because squads is good and the championship events got good value and everything that we're doing, doing is pretty. Some of the other stuff that you think, I might give that a whirl. You start delving into it, and it's all become really complicated to qualify for anything. There's a thing on another site for some of their live stuff, and it's a special pass that you can win, and they run them on a regular basis, and they've got funny if they do gold, silver and bronze ones. I mean, I don't know where they got that idea from, but anyway. But you can't buy into the final event, so you've got a satellite in from like $11 to get in there, and that's the only way you can get a ticket to get into the final satellite. And it just everything feels very complicated. Not like where we've got our satellites now, where you can satellite in Monday to Friday, hopefully on a Saturday. Don't know why it wasn't a Saturday, but anyway, we'll check that one as to why there wasn't a Saturday satellites. And you just win your ticket, and your ticket's in your account, and then you can use it for whichever one you want to use it for. That seems pretty straightforward to me.
Seems to make sense.
I don't understand the need to overcomplicate all these things for people, but.
And then there were 5, Leigh.
Yeah. So I'm now getting accused of having my Gerald Ratner moment of saying that I don't like poker anymore. No.
He said it, folks. I can't deny it. He said it. It's very sad. I'm going to try and wipe it from the record. Just after the show is finished, we'll try and edit that out as smoothly as we can do.
But it genuinely is true. Tom and I say this whenever we go, certainly at the Worlds. We sit at the Worlds, and I'll tell you, there will always be a time where we're sat at the desk at the Worlds, and Tom will look at me, and he'll just go, wouldn't it be great to be playing
I'd like to play this.
yeah. Wouldn't you want to play this?
My streak...
Nobody else does what we do. So
my streak on that goes back 17 years, Leigh.
Yeah. Well, you played once, haven't you? You played in Newcastle once.
I played in Newcastle.
Yeah. But to be fair, I'm trying to think when I stopped playing APAT and just got more involved in the organising side of it. I want to say around season 3, 2 or 3, something like that.
You've missed so much of it, so much good stuff.
I think season 4 definitely when we were with Betfair. I'm pretty sure I was kind of full on then. But I certainly played the first Europeans in Luton back in season 1, and then was definitely playing in season 2 because I was out in Wiener Neustadt when we played out there. So was certainly dipping in. But I think after that, I think pretty much I don't think I've really played an APAT main since then, other than maybe the odd team thing. So.
We should play one, Leigh. We should create an event and just say, right, this one we can play.
Yeah,
I mean, it's doable.
Yeah. To be honest, we could just make it limited to 3 players, and we could 3 of us could get a medal. I mean, that's the way we could make this work, couldn't we? Yeah.
Wow.
But to be honest, if we make it a cheap buy-in as well, those medals go for about 40 quid on eBay. We could turn a profit if we made it a £10 entry. Yeah,
I like it. How scalable is the idea, Leigh? Because maybe we push the jumpers to one side and go with medal selling on eBay.
Sorry, Ed Bird, you might be out
You're
of
out.
the
You're
business
out.
partnership already before we even started. Yeah,
And for that reason, Ed, I'm out.
Yeah. That could be the case. So Zamboni 500 is hanging on here with 7 bigs. But it's proper aggression from everybody at this table, actually. Nobody's holding back here. So Chris Dobson's made the min raise, has been called by Natalie. Zamboni 500's made the call as well out of the big blind. So 3 of them seeing a flop here. Bet game Chris makes the shove for 16 bigs, puts the pressure on Zambodi, who has to fold, and is now down to 6 bigs in the small blind. You kind of guess again. It's relentless. Somebody is opening, this up. It's not folding around to the blind. No,
it's good play. I'm enjoying it.
Natalie's going to call this. King Queen has woken it up. Ace Jack for the Zambodi, but she's hit the king. Needs to avoid a Jack or an Ace on the river, and Zambodi's going to depart in 5th place if that is avoided, and it is. And so Dingo Bell, Natalie Bromley picks up some chips there and busts another player. And we're now on the medal bubble in this no-lit hold'em game. 4 players remaining. And I wouldn't want to call this at the moment. Natalie's back to chip leader again now with 55 bigs. But Chris Dobson bet game, it's the short stack with 23. So, yeah, this is anybody's.
Good game.
Here. Yeah.
Leigh, we have. We just want to go to our life story section in the chat box. Dear Des and Leigh, tomorrow we're going to our grandkids' gender reveal. This is from Steve 40. My stepson Matt has 2 daughters already. We have to wear pink or blue, so I'm wearing my new Jack Grealish Man City shirt. Oh, Leigh, this is interesting. So you go to a gender reveal.
Sorry.
Pardon?
Sorry, you what?
So
he's
wearing his new Jack Grealish Man City shirt. I know, it's an astonishing thought that he's got a Man City shirt. Maybe the whole story's a hoax, but I doubt it, Leigh. You're right, though. He is a Man United fan with a brand new... but we know Hannah, his daughter, is an Aston Villa fan. It could be that, he's got another son-daughter who is a Man City fan. It's not beyond the bounds of possibility. Just hasn't mentioned that child.
If we've already got 2 daughters, it's going to be a 3rd daughter. I mean, you just want a Leo Messi Miami shirt, don't you? They play in pink.
I think that's what you want.
Yeah, Beckham's club. That's what you want. But
what if you turn up in a blue shirt, Leigh, and the cake is opened or the whatever is hit, and it comes up pink, and it looks like you wanted a boy child, and what are the happy couple going to think?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
It's like my daughter's first rejection.
Yeah. In answer to Simon's question, how much for first? I'm assuming you're talking about the No Limit Hold'em tonight. $350 up top tonight. So the guys have locked up 170 now. So it goes 170, 217, 275, then 350. That's where we're at. And we're down to 4. Yeah, it's become a whole thing, isn't it? This kind of gender reveal party. It's like, that never used to be a thing, did it? I'm sure it didn't. No. Just kind of like, when somebody gave birth, they did a quick check and went, yep, that's what it is. Now it's become a whole industry for baking cakes with colours in the middle. Yeah.
Back in the day, somebody would ask you, do you want to know the sex? Like, you're whatever, you're 20 weeks in or whatever. Do you want to know? And the parents would say, well, yes or no.
You're asking me as if I
I'm telling you, you know this, right? You know that question was asked, right? Do you want to know? And the parents could know. And now it's, do you want a merchandising line?
Yeah. It's, do you need a DNA test? Yeah.
It's not too late, Leigh. Honestly, you and Jen, it's not too late. Still go for it. I think a couple of little Wilshires running around the south of England could be great for the country. Definitely would be a positive.
It'd be good for the economy. Is that what you're saying? We could. Would it help to fund HS2? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I think you're too far south to be of any value to HS2, Leigh. It would need to be HS2S.
I'll be honest, they all go on about the trains and stuff up north, but I mean, you try and get a train from where I live. I mean, honestly, it's horrendous. We a couple of weeks ago, couple of weeks ago, Tom, Des, and myself were looking. We thought we'd have a get together and have a kind of a bit of a away day get together and making some plans and bits and pieces for next year and all that kind of thing. And we were trying to come up with where could we all meet and what. So Tom's down in Plymouth, Des is in Surrey, and I'm in Dorset. And we ended up giving up, didn't we? We just actually went, do you know what? The amount of travel time it'll take to get anywhere for all of us, so we jumped on a call in the end and did it that way.
Somebody said, we could do it in Yeovil, at which point we all said, shall we just do like Zoom instead?
Yeah.
It's bloody good. We spent 6 hours on Zoom. It was great.
Yeah. A couple of tea breaks. It's perfect. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's down our neck. Actually, Tom's okay. Tom from Plymouth. Tom's got a good run.
It's a long way down, Leigh, though. It's a long way from population.
Great
from
Western
normal
line.
folks.
Haycock thinks I live in France because he can't understand. I picked him up from the station once, and he got down as far as Southampton, and then I went and picked him up from the station and drove him 2 hours. And he said, "How can we be going further south than Southampton? This can't be right. This must be France. What are you doing?" Yeah.
Did he see Peppa Pig World and just panic? Blindly. Yeah. Where am I?
Yeah, because that's the scary one. When you get to the end of the M27, it's Peppa Pig World. Yeah.
Where am I?
And you're still driving. Yeah, you're just like
it's like you've landed back in Tales of the Unexpected.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It is a little bit like that, but that's Dorset for you. So
Dorset, we're way down there, Leigh. Lovely to be seeing you.
The Jurassic Coast.
And it's beautiful down there, Leigh. I spent a little bit of time working down there, as you know. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous part of the world, I have to say.
It really, really is. We are very, very lucky where we live, because you see, we get the best of everything down our way. So it's very nice indeed. This is all tightening up a little bit here now. The average stack has dropped down now to 32 bigs, which is always what happens on these final tables, Des, isn't it? Is as you know, players say getting a little bit cagey now, close to the big money up top and the medals. And I'm guessing for all of them, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Robert King Queen might be somebody that is fully aware of APAT medals and everything. Just happens to have a Hong Kong flag. There is that. I'm pretty sure possibility. We
are discussed at all the best pubs in Hong Kong, I'm sure. Anyway, do you want me to help you to finish this? What I have to do is press this button. There you go. I think you'll find that'll help. We take the medals off the screen.
Take the medals away. Yeah,
forget the medals. Let's go. Yeah. Here we go. As you can see, Leigh, we've got action already.
Yeah, you're not missing anything on the PLO because they're still seven-handed on that PLO final table. And that must have started now about 15, 20 minutes ago. They've not lost anyone yet in that. A couple of really short stacks, though. Chris is all in with King Queen. With Queen 10 up against Ace Queen. Yeah, Ace and only an Ace. Or it's going to be a full double up for Chris Dobson. And Blue's not going to be any good.
No, it's not.
So Natalie goes to just about the short stack now, and Chris becomes the chip leader, and it is 5 to the hour, so the players are on a break for 5 minutes. The PLO will be exactly the same. I don't think we're going to see anything change there. One of the players there has got has got 3.7 bigs, and they're on a break as well. And it is still Dave Garden who is chip leader in that. He's got twice the stack of Andrew Rhubarb Jones in second place, with Ed Bird currently in third at the moment. So so players are on a break, 5 to the hour. But as I say, I've got a feeling we'll be done before the next break at 5 to midnight. I reckon, Des. I would imagine both of these will get included in the next hour. What we should do is just is very briefly. Let's just, for anybody that might have missed out on it last night, let's just confirm what happened last night with squads. And the team, Bingo Bango Bongo, were top for most of the week. Team made up of Charlie Cairns, Tony Ross, Yanni, and Sean Snell. 9 cashes out of the. I suppose it's 9 cashes out of a potential 40 if you play, or if all 4 players play all events. I suppose that's the way to look at it. So yeah, their best six counted, which got them to 61 points, and it ended up being close. They were comfortably ahead going into those last two tournaments last night, Des, weren't they? And then at one point we thought Celtic Storm were going to overtake them because Frank Bailey and Brendan Byrne had 3 cashes between them last night in the 2 events, but they were only adding 1s and 2 points on. They were only just beating their lowest scores, so they weren't getting loads. So that wasn't really helping them very much. And then we thought Game Theory, not so optimal, were going to do it because Carey had a result and Neil Vickers had a result, and we were thinking they were going to do it, and they got up to second, and then completely out of the blue, Joe Gaynard for Raise for Jack was flying in the very last event. And then got down to the final table, and we worked out that he needed a second place to nick second place in the team, but even if he won it, he was going to miss out by a point for Bingo Bango Bongo. So pretty much that locked up the final positions, but it went right down to the end there to get there.
Yeah, it was a great night of poker, Leigh. Very enjoyable, and as you said, it literally went to heads up in the last game of the night before we had a final position for the top 3. A couple of questions for you, Leigh. One from Mr. Jones, right? Rhubarb, Mr. Jones. Andrew, is there a way to turn off the river reveal on GG? Feels like you're getting slow rolled if somebody hits. I think you can demystify that to a degree, can't you?
Yeah, but
you don't have to have the big card. You can have...
No,
you're going to get a reveal anyway.
Because if your opponent has got it on, then it will slow roll it till it reveals it at the same time for everybody. So that is going to happen. Unfortunately, I should just quickly on Poker Squads just say Dog Walker won the individuals, which is Chris Files, who's not in a squad and is happily looking for a squad. Donkadonk, who finished 6th, who picked up the last of the added value in that because the prizes moved down because nobody can win more than one prize. So if you'd already won a squad prize, you couldn't win an individual, or you get the higher of the 2 anyway. And Donkadonk is Jay White. Jay's not in a team either. So if somebody's thinking about wanting to put a team together, I know Chris was definitely up for joining a team. Not sure how committed he was to play every single bit, but he would play when he could play, and he's a good player. Anybody that wants to join Poker Squads for next week starts on Monday. You've only got to get 3 or 4 names together, screen names, and pop your details into apat.com/squads, and you'll be added into the leaderboard for next week. We give away $500 worth of T-dollars every single week for the next 7 weeks. This was the first one. Another 6 weeks to go. So, well worth getting involved with if you fancy it.
Get it done. So, Leigh, 2 other things for you. Simon suggests one of the PLO final table with $1 million in winnings. Can we slide over there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's correct. That is, whether you can still see that, is that still on the screen or it's just gone away?
Yeah.
When it might spin back round. It might spin back round. It's A12B3 C4D.
So right at the bottom there, we'll see what it's got.
There you go. Million.
Wow. Well, I think you'll find the APAT medal, should he acquire it, will be the pinnacle, nonetheless, of his GG career, but that's pretty impressive. And Mr. 40 asks, Leigh, any chance of explaining the last game of live Poker Squads, please? So he thinks he has a team entered.
Live Poker Squads. Right, okay. So
final table, Leigh, right?
Well, probably the best thing to do is I just quickly explain the entire format because it won't take me much time to explain the whole thing. So there are 50 teams of 4. And everybody rocks up on the Saturday, and every single player plays 3 phases of sit and goes. So you get to play 3 sit and goes. So everybody sits down, plays at the same time, plays the first one, then everyone plays the second one, then everyone plays the third one. You earn points for where you finish in your sit and go for your squad. Whoever wins their sit and go gets to pick a mystery prize from the prize pool. So about a third of the prize pool gets paid out on sit and goes on day 1.
You're losing them. Losing them.
So you then earn points for the leaderboard, and then the top 20 teams make it through to day 2. So we then bring those 20 teams back on day 2, and everybody plays 1 more sit and go. And you need to win your sit and go to get your team on the final table. Okay, to qualify your team on the final table. If more than one of your squad win that day 2 sit and go, we doubly stack on the final table. So each team will sit with one stack on the final table, and then you can tag in and tag out on that final table. And basically, the rest of the prize pool all gets paid out on that final table as effectively as the final sit and go. And that's pretty much, in essence, how it works.
And it's very exciting. Ultimately, very exciting. It'll be tense once we hit that final table. There'll be a lot of people railing it. There'll be a lot to win.
Yeah, and it's good fun, and obviously the mystery prizes on day one are good fun as well, because we've got envelopes, and you get all, you pick one of those and pull it out and say, and you get 3 chances of trying to win a sit and go to win a cash prize, but you're always earning points towards your team to try and qualify them for day 2 as a team. So again, somebody can have a stinker of a day, but if your teammates are doing all right for you, they can get you through, and you make day 2, and it's all about everybody doing their bit at some point in the process. So that's how it works.
Well described, sir. Under some pressure, well described. Mr. Lawler continues to comment on Mr. Abracadabra Man that we talked about with 1.1 million of winnings. How much has he lost, though? How much has he lost, Lee? How much has he lost? Quite right, Simon. Quite right. Pragmatic.
He's from Malta, so yeah. Which, I mean, you knew that, Des, because you saw the flag. So obviously, because you're very familiar with
Slovenia and Malta are a couple of specialist countries for me, Lee.
Yeah. So we've got a player from Finland as well, Soberlife, on that P&O final table. So one from Malta, one from Finland, and the rest are from
race
the UK.
Here, Lee. Medals at stake. Jacks have hit.
Yeah, it looks like Robert's going to get that one through. And we are going to be losing, and it was very close stack-wise, but Robert had him covered by about half a big blind. So Blozza 25, Rob Blow, is going to finish in 4th place, picking up $170, and we have our medalists.
Well done, guys and girls.
So Chris Dobson, chip leader, just about bet game. Robert King Queen and Dingle Bell, who is Natalie Bromley. So congratulations to the 3 of you. You're going to be picking up the medals. It's just a question of what colour are they going to be. So I mean, Natalie's got a bit of a 3-1 chip deficit against the other 2, but that's still 15 bigs. So it certainly isn't over for her by any stretch yet. Say if she can get a double up through one of them, then all of a sudden she's equal pegging.
Absolument.
Stack wise, and not very far off a chip leader. So say all to play for. We've just lost Shug on the PLO final table. He's gone out in 7th, picking up just shy of $60. So good run from you, Shug. Very well played.
Lee, just joining us on the stream, Sean Lastman, Nicholas Cross, Mr. Pilgrim has joined as well. Good evening to you, gents. Hope you're all well. It's a medal weekend. We're on the Hold'em final table here. PLO playing out in the background.
Is that Nicholas Cross of WCOAP
fame?
Bracelet,
absolutely
fame.
Right.
Yeah.
And very close to taking down a second one with I want to say
in the tag team with Gary.
With Gary Lippman, that's right.
Yeah, with Gary in the tag team.
It was almost a team of 3 because every time I looked at the 2 of them, Dawn was stood right behind going, "Where's my medal? Where's my medal?"
Yeah. Well, he might have won $1 million, but
has he gone? Has he just gone out?
It looks like he's going to be no match for Dave Garden.
He's been blackpooled.
The Gardenator. Yeah, says hasta la vista, Malta boy. Yeah, he's no more.
I'll be back.
Yeah, and so you can take your $1 million. You can take your $1 million. It's not good. It's not good enough for an APAT medal, I'm afraid.
That's right. Dave Garden is out there with a little smile. He likes the sound of that.
So we are.
We're going to put those medals back up now, Lee. I think. There we go.
We are down to 5 in the PLO. Yeah. Dave Garden says no cash is better than $1 million worth of cash. So there we go.
It's no cash versus lots of cash.
Yeah, but how much has he actually lost?
Yeah, he's lost. He's probably lost a bit, Lee.
How much has he lost?
There's at least the entries. At least the entries, Lee.
I reckon so. It's cost him $25 tonight, and he's got he's okay.
You have to lose too many of those, Lee, to hit $1 million. I'm telling you.
He's won $75 tonight, so he's got another 75 added onto his $1 million plus already from tonight. So he's made a profit on a Saturday night.
You've got to be sure to add that to the APAT presentation, right? about our famous players.
You say that, but I'm saying that. I mean, he could have been grinding the satellites all week and done over $50 on that. So he could be a lot. He could be a losing player on APAT for the week. There is a possibility.
There are no losers at APAT, Leigh. We're all part of one big happy family, right?
Absolutely. Natalie's pocket tens. She only had 2 bigs behind on that when it got to that river, but it went check, and
it's really tightened up here, Leigh.
Yeah. And has managed to get herself back up to 25 bigs now. So an average stack is only 31. So to be honest, there's nothing between any of these now, Des. I really wouldn't want to call this. It's anybody's of the 3 that are remaining. And Ed Byrne is adding to his stack in the PLO now. Dave Garden was the comfortable chip leader, had sort of double everybody else's stack, but Ed has now got about sort of 2/3 of Dave's stack in second place at the moment. So he's been chipping away and is catching up, not from Dave necessarily. He's picked up from other players. So that's going to be a good battle on that final table, which we'll jump over to there when either when there's any action that I can grab or whether when this one comes to a conclusion. Which is the way this is looking with 3 players remaining, and they're all playing fairly aggressive poker. They're not holding back here, are they? So all in the call. Ace 6 versus Ace Queen. It's the Ace 6 at risk. It's got chop abilities here as well. Is Chris Dobson going to hit on the river?
He's looking for 6. Not going to be.
No, he's not. He's not going to. And so Chris Dobson's going to finish in 3rd place, picking up $217 and the bronze medal. And we have our heads up. Look at the money on the table.
The stacks, Leigh.
There is about $625 there, roughly.
It's
on that
it's like
table.
being in Tom Brady's bedroom, Leigh.
Yeah. You would know. I couldn't possibly comment.
Well, I can imagine. This is what I imagine it would look like, and there would be lots of jewels and all sorts around the place.
If you spend your Saturday nights imagining what Tom Brady's bedroom's like, that's entirely up to you. Don't want to ruin your Saturday night. You crack on. These guys are even stack wise though, so this is very much all to play for here. This is going to be
Listen, Leigh, here comes Shug with a rather sensible suggestion, as it were. I'm sure there'll be a good reason why we'll disappoint him here. I already know the answer. I'm going to pitch this one over to you. So why don't you push these medal tourneys to Saturday and Sunday so that they don't interfere with the leagues? Seems strange to have Sunday free and so much on the Friday. I would say, Leigh, that's a blooming good question. Over to you, sir.
It's a very good question that you already know the answer to.
I do. I can take it. Would you like me to take it?
You're sending it my way, so I can. No, it's a very simple answer to it, which is GG Poker have a rule that there are no additional poker tournaments put on a Sunday night from kind of third parties or regional or leagues or anything that will conflict with their Sunday night schedules. So basically, our hands are completely tied. We are not allowed to put anything on a Sunday night. That is a rule from the very top of GG Poker. We have no control over that whatsoever. We can't even try and sneak anything in or anything. Absolutely nothing we can do.
You're saying that goes all the way up to Negreanu? Wow.
Right up to the very, very top. Yeah, right up to the very top.
Wow. And sort of, I get it. I mean, I've laughed long and hard at this because it seems ridiculous to me. But I get it at the same stage because they obviously put all of their millions up for guarantees across Sunday in particular. And they want everybody on GG playing those events to, hit those big numbers. I get it. But at the same stage, I find it hilarious, given that we have always been a Sunday night event, as it were, online.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens now. Obviously, we don't.
No, I've got to follow up on this, Leigh. So another reason to leave GG? No, it's not, because we couldn't do what we do elsewhere without GG. So I think sometimes you just have to work in partnership and make it work for the betterment of the overall vision.
And we do keep pushing the fact that actually, we don't think that the rule is necessarily, it would make that much difference. We actually think it would bring more players in on Sunday that would play everything anyway. So we do keep having the discussion. It isn't the case that we've taken that and that's it. But But yeah, it's very difficult to get them to kind of change their view on where they think they are with it. Don Roberts finished in 5th in the PLO, so they're down to 4 now.
Good run, Don.
So this heads up is obviously we don't show any bias on this show, but obviously we do have a little bit of rooting here for Natalie to want to win. And I know for a fact that Natalie feels her heads up game is pretty good. She will say I'm sure she will would admit that herself. She'd say she's very confident in heads up games. So we'll see whether she can see this one through. She's having a proper think here. 10 bigs in the middle. Robert bet 6 and used up a little bit of a time bank having a think about that, and then decided to let it go. But obviously, we'd very much like friend of the show, Natalie, to take this down if she could. I know there's lots of people in the chat that are supporting her as well. So Robert's applying a little bit of pressure here. So it's a couple of hands now where Natalie's bet out sort of 5 or 6 bigs, and then Roberts reshoved and has got them both through. So he's now very quickly gone from what was a kind of an even Stevens chip-wise to now sort of 50 bigs versus 30 bigs. But that's not going to stop Natalie applying pressure, because I guess, you at some point you're going to catch your opponent out. They can't always be reshoving over the top and having it. But little pot building here with about 8 bigs in the middle at the moment. So, Chris Dobson in the chat just saying, enjoyed that tonight. Good luck to both in the heads up. Very well done with your 3rd place finish, Chris.
Oh, King of Spades, Lee. Versus the 8 of Spades.
And the trouble is, ace-8 heads up is actually quite strong, and you're running into a pocket kings there. So actually, Natalie's done very well not to actually
lose the lot.
To be losing the lot there, really. Is going to need to find a double up here, otherwise we will be shipping a gold medal to Hong Kong.
Lee, what time is Dan turning up at? I advertised in the thread that Dan was joining us.
That's why the numbers are so low. He may well have had a better offer on a Saturday night. To be honest,
almost any offer is better than our offer, guys. We accept that.
I mean, I think Paul's gone out drinking with a mate in Walsall tonight. So
it is a Saturday night, I have to say.
Yeah, that does tell you all it is. I couldn't even bring. To be honest, I'll happily do anything other than have to sit and watch Match of the Day. So I'm quite.
Oh, you should want to watch it, Lee, because you don't have to watch much of it. In fairness, you only really need to watch the last 90 seconds or so.
Yeah, why? I mean, why would I want to put myself through that? I mean, honestly. I as I said to you this afternoon, it got to half time in the football this afternoon. I went and took the dogs for a walk. I just got away from it. Just didn't want to watch that again. And we got a result, but I struggle to understand. I really rate McTominay. I've always liked it. I've never felt that he was a good partnership in a midfield. And now the Kings come the other way. But Robert had flopped the straight with 10-8. The flop had come down 9-6-7. He'd flopped the straight. I mean, wow. Heads up. Pocket Kings versus 10-8, and you flop the straight. I mean, nothing Natalie can do there whatsoever. So Robert KQ picks up $350 and the gold medal. Natalie Dingle Bell will have to settle for $275 and the silver medal. Cracking performance from you, though, Natalie. I don't think there's a huge amount you could do there. The ace-8 hand against the Kings, you did well to kind of play it light and not get it all in there, even arguably heads up. But then what do you do with that last hand? Not a huge amount you can do there. So we're done. So we are on the medal bubble for the PLO. So we'll flip over to that. And it is, say, three players that you'll recognise. Odin 1 being Ed Bird, Rhubarb 10 being Andrew Jones, and No Cash 40 being Dave Garden. And they are joined by Sober Life from Finland. So they are the 4 left playing for the medals. But well played, Natalie, in that no limit
absolutely.
Hold'em.
And lots of well played for Natalie in the chat box as well. And I think the 3 guys, with the exception of Sober Life, were on the stream
Good luck to you guys in the PLO. So I'd say I've always rated McTominay. I think he can do a job, and his goal scoring for Scotland in recent times has been phenomenal. I don't understand why he's not fancied him. Ten Hag's just not trusted him or wanted to play him and threw him on for the last minute or two. Crikey, if that's our final option, is throwing McTominay on.
It's not bad. Of course, it's not bad. It's worked out.
He gets 2 goals. I mean, okay, we're likely to keep clean sheets with the back four that we put out this afternoon. But again, if you look at the stats on it, we're just, I don't know what Fernandes is doing. Interestingly, he took Rashford off, took Mount off, and we looked a better side and we created more chances, and were peppering their goal towards the end with those players off after about 60-something odd minutes. At some point he's got to realise that it's not working the way he's got things running. Casemiro went off at half time, and he brought Eriksen on. I think these players are tired. I generally think Casemiro and Rashford and Fernandes could do with some sort of proper break. And if it's a case of benching Rashford for 2 or 3 weeks and just playing Garnacho and saying, right, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to rest you up. You just need to recharge your batteries and come back for the second half of the season.
Klopp's done that with a couple of players on occasion. He's just said, go home, have a week off.
Yeah, but Fernandes looks completely out of touch. I don't know what he's doing. He's not adding any value other than the goal against Burnley, which was a worldy strike. He's not really doing anything. So so I'm not massively worried about match of the day. And it's international break now, but we've got a couple of good games tomorrow, so that'll be good to watch. It's McAllister back at his old club tomorrow.
Yeah, should be a good game. I'm quite looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I think it will be. We'll see how they come off the back of because Brighton have struggled in Europe so far, really, haven't they?
They were 2 down in Marseille and had a spectacular second half there on Thursday.
But their opening game wasn't great, and we'll see how they fare after that, because it's mentally draining as well. I think playing in Europe, whether it is a Thursday night or it doesn't really matter. It does take its toll on you when you're playing the European games midweek.
You betcha.
That's for sure.
Nicholas out there. Good evening, guys. Great comps again tonight. Thank you, sir. Glad you're enjoying them. Saturday night, Lee. Who plays poker on a Saturday night? What are we doing?
Yeah, clearly it's not thing, was it? But for us, it does mean for Sunday nights are free. So what we should say, because we're getting close to this coming to a conclusion. So the next APAT show will be 2 weeks time. So the Friday night we'll do a wrap up of poker squads for week 3, and follow the bounty tournaments, championship events for that one as well. I don't know what we're going to do with that. So 2 weeks today, effectively, Des, because I will be in Malta. So we'll have to work out whether we're going to put a show on or whether we can find somebody who can join you on a Saturday night. And
you're pretty irreplaceable, Lee. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah. We could get Shug on, and we could, just point out where the problems are. Right? We could come up with solutions. That could be an interesting one. We could put Carl on, and we could just, misname everybody. We could do that. That could be good fun.
But on the Friday night, we have currently got booked Carey and Neil Vickers from Game Theory Not So Optimal, who finished 3rd this week, and they're going to be playing squads for the next few weeks at least. So
if they do a good job
to come on,
if they do a good job on the Friday night, Lee, what we can do is we can put them in charge of the Saturday night show. I'll produce it off screen. We'll let the 2 guys run it, and fantastic. Probably get bigger numbers than we will.
Sounds good. Sober Life is all in, and Rhubarb's hit a load of outs on the turn, but misses with all of them. It was a pair of Jack's 4 2 pair on the flop for Sober Life. Andrew had on the up and down straight draw and a flush draw, and it was in a really good spot, but wasn't to be. So Sober Life gets a full double up through Rhubarb. Yeah. So yes, we've got to say we're a little bit. So it'll pretty much be every fortnight, right through till the first week in December, and with a special weekend, obviously in from Nottingham, for the Poker Squads live at the end of November. So yeah, all that to go. It's getting quite exciting because one of these I'm also over in Vegas as well. So I've started following a few different people on YouTube to see what's going on with all the construction work and stuff ready for the Formula One day to see what's going. I mean, it's just insane the amount of money they've spent and the amount of work that they're doing on the whole thing, which has caused a ridiculous amount of disruption for the city now for effectively 12 months. But of course, they've got really smooth roads now, so you'd have thought they'd be really grateful, wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, they've got super smooth roads. Yeah, no, not a pothole in sight. But all of the track lighting is up now.
Oh, magnificent.
So all down the road. So, obviously, because it's just literally, obviously, they've got to light up the whole, really properly light up the whole street like you've seen for some of the other night races. So the paddock area is nearly complete. A lot of the grandstands are now up. They're currently building the grandstand in the Bellagio fountain. So the Bellagio fountain is off at the moment because there is literally a grandstand over the water. So it goes on a bit of the walk of the pavement, and the trees have been cut down. So the trees outside the Bellagio have all been chopped down. They're all gone. You seriously, you should go and Google some of this stuff.
Send me a link, please. I like that stuff. I hadn't even contemplated this.
Well, you want to see this? So the grandstand that's right in front of the Bellagio. Is on the walkway, but then it goes back over the fountains. Wow. It's absolutely nuts. And they've built. There's 3 vehicular bridges that have been built that will go over effectively the track to get vehicles in and out of the middle area as well. So they've got 3 actual like as if like kind of wartime kind of things, huge things that they've built up. The whole thing's incredible. Have you seen the pictures from the Sphere in the past week with U2?
Look, the pictures look amazing, but I read an incredible story earlier on today by some guy who specializes in the creation of these, what they almost call them art installations, right? So it's not a theater, it's an art installation. And of course it's spherical, right? We know this, right? Yeah. But there are practical difficulties that creates. If you're an audience member at one of those U2 concerts and you've got nosebleed seats, you're way up in the back. Of course, you're practically butting up against a wall that's coming over the top of you, and it's live video. So people are getting sick. People are getting motion sickness going to their seats because they're climbing at that sort of angle. They're getting motion sick, and the advice is, look at your feet all the way up. Don't look at anything else. Just look at your feet all the way up. Get to your seat.
Sat down and then
sit down.
Then you'll be okay,
Don't stand up. Don't suddenly stand up. Just acclimatize yourself. Look straight. Find the straight line down to the, and then bit by bit, have a look.
Yeah, it's the one that they've done where they've effectively projecting the outside inside. Have you seen those shots where they're doing that? So they're projecting outside. All right, so they project outside Vegas inside the Sphere.
Oh wow.
So when you're sat in the Sphere, it looks like you're in an open, an open venue because it's just a stage and it's real time.
Oh my god!
So it's not just that So it's real time. What's going on in Vegas that night? They've got cameras outside that can basically then match. It's just amazing. Wow. I mean, just phenomenal. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely phenomenal. So
almost as strikingly as that, Steve says, Des, if you get shorts, I am free. Not sure if my mic will work.
There is
a sore memory. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What? Hey.
Hello?
What? Hello? Yeah. It was, I did say that because Carey said, I'll see if I can get one of my teammates. And I said, well, Steve's got some past experience of being on the show. Dave's all in against Andrew, and it's going to be King on the River is going to be 2 pair for Andrew. Dave had some options to hit, but say the King on the River did for him. And so that is it. So Dave Garden's going to finish in 4th place, picking up $125.
Unlucky.
And we've got our 3 medalists.
Well done,
Ed
folks.
Is going to be picking up a 2nd medal once he reconnects. And chip lead at the moment is Andrew Jones. Well, Andrew final tabled the PLO in Cardiff.
Yeah.
He also final tabled this PLO event 2 weeks ago, I want to say, Des. I'm pretty sure he did, because I think I may have made that comment. And I think he also picked up a medal in Cardiff for an online one previously, which I think was another PLO one as well. Yeah. So very much feeling like a 4-card specialist in this game. Yeah, so
getting it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Prizes tonight in this one. Don't think I've shouted those out. So the 3 guys that are left are locked up $160. Then it's $207 and it's $266 up top. So for a $25 tourney, which is going to end up being about 3.5 hours on a Saturday night.
You're going to sensible end time, Lee, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah,
either all of us.
You're going to pick up a couple of $100 profit.
So
for
Lee,
whoever wins this.
Your trek out west, do you have any tickets for the Sphere? Are you going to get the chance to go in there?
No. So you two are taking a break in November. So funnily enough, there's weirdly, with the Formula One being out there, there's very little other stuff going on. So none of the sporting teams are in town for the time I'm out there. So, your chance of catching some ice hockey or a bit of NFL.
I mean, it'll be chaos in the middle of Vegas.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah, none of them are in town. You two are taking a break as well in November. But most of the other shows and other things are going on. I mean, the advice seems to be very much, if you're going to do anything, walk, because that's going to be the best way to get around Vegas so it's only when the track is hot. So when the track goes hot, and obviously you're a Formula One fan, so you know what that means, Des. Do you want to explain what that means for anyone that doesn't? Yeah.
Is that when Lance Stroll is sort of somewhere out there near a car? Is that when the track is hot? Yeah.
That's when the track is hot. Exactly that. So when the track is hot, they say it'll be a little bit difficult to move around Vegas and get to different places and different things. I've seen some reports that are saying that they are going to board up everything down the strip. So there'll be no places for you to be able to stop and see anything.
Is that because the English are coming, Lee?
No idea.
Tales of the 1980s and the football and stuff? No? It's not that?
So I've seen some, So I've seen some suggestions that's going to happen. But then others have said, no, that's just not, isn't really possible for them to do that, because they've got so many grandstands there that people have got to get in and out of, and they can't stop people from walking. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to board things up.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So my take is that as I say, I will go out there and I'll get a vibe for it, and if I really feel necessary, there's still tickets available now if you want to get into any of the grandstands. So that's still an option if I wanted to do that. But just going to go and enjoy the vibe out there.
Are you going to do a few short videos, Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to try and
that'd be insane,
get out there. Yeah, see what I can get out there. Obviously, the race itself is at 10 o'clock on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it's fully, it'll be fully under the lights with the whole of Vegas lit up. I mean, it's gonna look incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's just gonna look phenomenal and I dread to think what they're going to do with the Sphere for that, on race day, because they race around the Sphere.
It's got to be a helmet.
Yeah, they actually literally race around the Sphere. So that the circuit wraps around there. So it goes around the Sphere, then right past the high roller wheel, and then back into the kind of the paddock area is right next to the Virgin Hotel, which used to be the Hard Rock. So kind of at the bottom of the hill, which then they go back up there or down the hill from Planet Hollywood. So we'll go out there and just we'll see what the vibe is and see what's going on, see where we can get anywhere. And worst case, if it's really difficult to get in anywhere, I'll probably, for the race itself, head into one of the sports bars that'll have it up on big screens and watch the actual race for an hour and a half or whatever, and then get back out on the strip and see what's to see after post race. There's a big big fan area down by the Sphere, and there's live music, and they've got a whole kind of like a fan park thing going on. So there'll be there's a big kind of club vibe dance thing going on down there after the race. So yeah, I mean, going into the early hours in the morning, and of course, and I'm staying at the Horseshoe, which is bang slap in the middle of the circuit. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, awesome. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get a view from a room necessarily, but whichever room I've got, I'll be overlooking something that you'll see.
Probably hear
something
it.
Going on. So yeah. I've no doubt you'll hear it. That's true. And of course, the sad thing is that with the result of the sprint race today, it was always going to be that it was done. So it was never going to mean anything anyway. So but what does mean something is Andrew Jones is adding to his stack here, and the other two, Soberlife and Odin, have got about 12 bigs left each. Andrew has 48 bigs. This is a pay jump of about $40 here between third and second. But one of the guys here has got to decide, do they want to try and actually get a stack here and try and make this a bit of a competition? Otherwise, Andrew's going to be in a position where he can really start playing quite wide to try and get this over with. Soberlife raises up that one, but gets it through. But this is very much going to be. This isn't going to be a 45-minute heads up that Simon Lawler had the other night in the PLO in one of the $5 games. I think this is going to be over far quicker than that. I would suggest. But yeah, if anybody does see any useful tips or advice for the Formula One out in Vegas, or knows anyone else that's going, I mean, let me know, because I'm heading out there on my own, and quite happy with that. Not a bother whatsoever. But it would be nice to try and report back in at some point. I'm trying to think what time it's going to be. So for you guys, it's like 6 a.m, isn't it, on the Sunday morning? I think the race is. Yeah.
No, I was thinking more in case of Leigh does a 7-day vlog from Vegas. So you do your 2-minute sort of video. I've just arrived at McLaren. So you just take us through like Mr. Wigglesworth used to do. A nice short video. Put them in the group.
You want me to work? You want me to work on my holiday? Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Work might be too strong a word, but it's easier, it's cheaper. In fact, on us, if we say you should document it for your own memories.
Of course, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because me, I'm one for keeping boxes of memories. Me,
memories. Here we go.
And a second jack. With an 8 means that Ed is going to get the double up that he was so longing for there, and it's not a bad hand for Soberlife, to be honest. But Soberlife is now down to 2 bigs, and Ed is now up to 22 bigs. So
here we go. This is going to happen now.
Yeah, the gloves are off. Soberlife is all in. Rhubarb's going to call.
He's going to have a piece of this.
Ed's getting a bit of a punch of it, but I'm assuming Ed's going to
be 2-on-1 action here, Leigh.
I reckon they're going to check this down, Des. I've got a funny feeling.
Can't possibly comment on that.
Oh, no, Ed fires out a little bet here.
He's got a piece of that. What has he got? Ace, Queen, Leigh?
Hard. 2 pair, I'd say. Oh, he's got the 6s. So,
that'll do.
Yeah. But, it isn't, because there's options
Kings.
there.
Kings.
A king would actually help Soberlife. Not to be, though. And so Ed finishes off Soberlife. And Andrew would have actually rivered straight there. So here comes the big bucks. $473.87 is on that final table there now, Des. That is some crazy amounts of money.
Those are quite small denomination notes, Leigh.
Very, very, very small indeed. So Rhubarb, Andrew Jones starts with about 35 bigs, and Odin 1, which is Ed Bird, has got about 25 bigs. Not a huge amount in this, actually, Des.
Pretty close. Yeah, one hand. Well, in fact, look, it's been settled here straight away.
It's all going in. And
Ed's got a hit.
Andrew's hit big style. But a king 8 or a 7 gets Ed out of it, and it's all over with.
Done.
He turned the straight.
Wow.
To be honest, 9-10 Jack Queen Rainbow is not
it's
the worst.
inviting.
Not the
It's
worst
inviting.
hand there was. It's very, and he's absolutely smashed that. So one hand and it's done. Ed Bird finishes in silver medal position, picking up $207. And the PLO 4-card we're going to have to start calling him a 4-card specialist. There's the thing. Andrew Rhubarb Jones picks up $266 and the gold medal, and it's 25 to midnight, and we're done.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. Well done, Andrew, Ed, everybody who medalled or cashed tonight. Thank you for playing with APAT. To everybody who played squads, etc. during this week. We are now going to down tools. Of course, squads or poker squids. We're going with poker squids, aren't we, Lee? Yeah, we're going with poker squids. Squid game, right?
These poker squid game.
I like it, Lee. There's a lot, there's a lot that can go right there.
The only worrying thing is after a week we might have no players still alive.
Yeah,
that's my only concern.
It's detail, Lee. It'll all be fine when you come back from Vegas. Trust me, I won't have closed the place down inadvertently. But joking aside, thank you for playing, guys. Have a great week ahead. Poker Squads kicks off on Monday as advertised. And we'll see you all back in 2 weeks, as Lee said, from a live stream point of view. But of course, we are on the Facebook group every day to answer your questions. So do get in touch with us there if you need to. So have a great couple of days. Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Good night.